Hi everybody, it's Robin Lewis Oglesby, and again, my partner Catherine Pickering and I are K&R Home Transitions Real Estate and also Life Stage Home Transition Partners. First off, thank you for watching our videos. This is the last of 4 videos, and if you've been following along, we first talked about where I get my passion from to serve this community, and it really is precious to me. The second thing we talked about is about independent living and why a home is so important to a senior, and why it's important that we really treat the transition or the discussion of the transition with dignity and respect. Then we talked about caregiver and the toll on a caregiver. Yes, it's precious, yes, it's special, but it's also time consuming, it's stressful, and it can be very, very costly to a caregiver. And one of the things I mentioned in that last video, which really it's a great summary for every one of our videos, but we talked about Senior Blue Book, and this is the book right here. And what it is, again, is it's like the yellow pages for senior services. And so anything you need, if you need somebody to help you declutter, you need someone to help you move, you need somebody to help counsel you on the right decision, you need caregiver respite, whatever it might be, I'd be hard pressed to not find it in this book. It's a tremendous resource. And if you need it, you can't find it, reach out to us. Our contact information will be on this video. We're very, very happy to provide it to you. Now today, we're going to talk about the home transition itself and finding a good realtor. But before we step there, something really important is you don't always have to make that transition. And it's very important that you talk to a counselor. There are specialists out there that can help you determine, is this a situation where you can age in place by making some adjustments to the home, or is an actual move necessitated? And so again, don't think that everybody has to move. There are tremendous resources. But if in fact you do have to make that decision to move, there are a number of ways you can sell the home and transition out of the home. So we're going to talk about the real estate and the sell of the home, the selling of the home, and 3 main categories. The first one is finding an agent, and I recommend using an agent rather than selling yourself, because an agent can do a lot for you. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk a little bit about investors, and there are a number of investment companies out there. We Buy Ugly Houses, that's the one that I know a lot of. And then we'll talk about some of the new situations out there, what we call in our industry jargon an iBuyer. What you may know it as is Open Door or Zillow, or a company that will come in and buy your house from you. And quite frankly, there is no right or wrong answer. The right answer is the method that works for you. That's the right answer. But first off, we're going to talk about realtors. And you may hear the term realtor, you may hear the term real estate agent. Even though they're used interchangeably, they're not the same thing. All realtors are real estate agents, but not all real estate agents are realtors. And the big difference is, to be a realtor, you're a member of the National Association of Realtors, and you have to take ethics. You take an ethics course and you take it on an ongoing basis. And there are also 17 articles in being part of the National Association of Realtors that you have to follow, their standards of conduct. And I think the one that really resonates throughout is that you have a fiduciary relationship with your client. And it's a really, really big word, but basically what it means is the client comes first. First and foremost, you serve the client. So you can have no conflicts of interest. It's not about the commission, it's about the client. It's serving them first and foremost. It involves not misrepresenting anything. It means open communications. It means keeping educated so that they can serve you properly. But most important, they're your advocate. You come first. And so I really think, in my opinion, it's critical that you look for somebody with the realtor designation. The next thing you want to look at is full or part-time. And there are a lot of real estate individuals out there, realtors or agents, that have one or two other jobs out there. And my question is, how dedicated can you be to an industry if it's just a part-time gig for you? So I really look for somebody that this is their job, this is their career, full-time. They're not serving two masters. This is it. And as I go through these things, also realize there's no particular order, but I just want to run through some certain things. The next thing is training. You should work with somebody who continually invests in their craft, who continually educates themselves so that they can serve you better. Again, it's about you. And two designations that I really think is important, especially for folks watching this video. One is the senior real estate specialist, and these are folks that have taken on additional studies to learn about the senior marketplace and what your needs are, and it goes even beyond real estate so that there's a good, strong understanding of what your needs are, your situation, your community. The second thing is the probate real estate specialist, and these are folks that understand the probate process when a homeowner passes away and what it means to get the letters of administration and to work through the probate process. Very, very important. The other thing you might want to look for is, are there senior designations in other industries? On my tapes, I've mentioned that I have financial services experience also, and I'm a chartered advisor for senior living on the financial side. So there may be some other industry designation that your realtor brings to you that, again, can help them serve you better. The other thing too, think about what's important to you. You may say, I want the person that sells the most houses in the neighborhood. Or you may say, I want somebody who, believes this way. Or I want somebody that, only advertises on social media. You may find that there are certain things that are very important to you. So think about that and think about what you look for in a realtor. The other thing is referrals. Ask your neighbors, who was their last realtor? What did they like about them? Would they recommend them? Was there anything that they wished the realtor had done differently? And talk to service providers. If you're working with a roofer or a home inspector or your banker, they all know really good people. So talk to them and get some referrals. Look at longevity and sales volume. Now, I think that there's a couple things in longevity and sales volume. You want somebody who's been around a bit. Now, does that mean 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Not necessarily, because you could have somebody that's been in the business 20 years, but they don't use their license. So it's not just longevity. Look at sales volume. And with sales volume, look at what they're doing volume-wise and put the two of them together. The other thing that's interesting is, have they sold in a down market or only in an up market? So there's a lot that involved in understanding longevity and sales volume. And so look at it. It's something to consider, but I don't think that it's an inclusive area to base your decision on. Look at the non-realtor experience. You know, I mentioned that I have many, many years of financial services. My partner, Catherine, has appraisal experience. She has lending experience. So she is just beautiful walking through a home, and she can talk about this as an upgrade. I would look at, you know, maybe changing that. Here's, if somebody's buying a home, here's some great loan options. So look at non-real estate experience that somebody might have. Understand conflicts of interest. And yes, we have a conflict of interest because when we sell a home, we get a commission. But if you're a fiduciary, again, the conflict of commission has to be set aside, and it's got to be serving you first. I actually heard somebody talking once, and they were meeting with somebody who was charging them a fee to decide what the best housing situation was. Then they were going to sell their house and charge them a fee to sell the house. To me, that's a conflict, you know, and I think it's very cost heavy, I guess is a way to put it. Look in the neighborhood, who's advertising, who has signs. So there's a lot of ways to find them. Most importantly, though, don't pick one and run with them. I would look at 2 or 3 and I would interview every one of them. And I would ask them, you know, what do you know about my neighborhood? What do you know about the real estate market now? What do you know about my situation? You know, what things like that. And then the other thing that I think is really important is ask for a marketing plan. How are you going to sell my house? Quite frankly, I think a lot of folks think, I stuck a sign in the yard, I put it on a listing service, I'm done, I'm good. And I don't agree with that. There are so many options, so many what I call surround sound options to market a home, and you should take advantage of those. So I would talk to your realtor and figure out what's their marketing plan. So 2 other ways that you can sell a home is either working with an investor or an iBuyer, and we'll go into a little bit of detail on each of those. An investor, the most common one is you'll see those signs, we buy houses, we buy ugly houses, sell your house to us. And you know, there are some advantages to that. Very often with seniors, one of the challenges they have is they can't keep up with the maintenance of the house. So you may find that the house is in need of a bit of repair. And what a investor will do is they will buy the house as is. You don't have to worry about repairing. You don't have to worry about getting the house ready and doing open houses and showings and all that stuff. They will just come in and buy the house. Now, one of the challenges with that is, again, they're an investor. They're buying it for an investment. And how do you make money? You buy as low as you can. So very often you're going to get a lowball price. And the question is, are there little tweaks that you could do to spruce the house up so you can sell it for significantly more money? So again, it's a great option for the right person. Now the other one is, to use industry jargon, an iBuyer. You'll know them as Zillow or Open Door, who are now coming out and saying, we'll buy your house. You know, send us your address, we'll give you an offer on your home and you can sell your home. Some of the things that they advertise is, number one, just like the investor, there's no hassle with showings. There's no hassle with getting your house ready. It's an as-is sale. And they also talk about the fact you don't have to pay realtor fees because, you know, those realtor fees are really, really high at 6%. Well, read the fine print with this. And again, it is a good choice for some people, but it's also important that you read the fine print because on average, the realtor fee is about 6%. Some people are higher, some are lower. It's something that you talk to your realtor about, but on average, it's 6% total that everybody gets for a sale. They won't have a realtor fee, but they'll have an administrative fee that ranges on average from 7 to as high, I've seen 14%. So no realtor fee, it's an admin fee. The next thing that they'll do is they will come out and they'll do an inspection. Sometimes they'll go in the house, sometimes they'll just go past the house, and they will give you a number of what you need to pay for repairs. And it's basically an inspection fee. Now, I was reading one iBuyer's material, and they said, what's great about it is if you don't like what we want, what our charge is, walk away. So basically what they're saying is take it or leave it. Just like an investor, iBuyers are investor. They're gonna come in as low as they can because they wanna quickly turn it around and have a profit. I mentioned before, I'll mention again, it could absolutely be the right choice for somebody, as could an investor with maybe a fixer-upper. But even if you're looking at taking that path, call a realtor. Because what a realtor will do is help you price out the options. Again, a realtor is going to market your home. They're going to handle the showings for you. They should be your counselor and partner through every bit of the sales process. And they can let you know if, fixing your house up to sell is cost prohibitive. They also have networks of investors that they may be able to promote your house to. Same thing with an iBuyer. They can go and give you a side-by-side comparison of what your cost would be, whether you go with them or with the iBuyer. And quite frankly, a good realtor should be prepared to walk away if an iBuyer or an investor is the right decision for you. So regardless of the choice you make, talk to a realtor. Again, they should be your partner, they should be your advocate throughout. So those are our 4 videos that we've done. And again, some of the resources that we have available, we're happy to provide them. Seniors Blue Book, for somebody selling a home, The Secret of Wealthy Home Sellers. For somebody who inherits a home, navigating your inherited home sale. And for somebody who just wants to get their records and everything organized, we have the record book. So I want to thank you all very much for listening and for joining me on this 4-part series. And have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening.